Ladies and gentlemen, coming in from Cleveland, Ohio, the man, the myth, the legend, auctioneer extraordinaire, Robert Zaba.
Oh, really? It's time to go on already? Oh, geez, sorry about that. Hello, everybody out there, and just want to let everyone know.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming in from Akron, Ohio, he is known as the Flippin Adventure, the Conkinator, and many other names we want to talk about right now, and he's not passed out.
I landed like a rock star. I did not pass out.
Landed like a rock star. You see my little ticker today?
Everyone will be late like Guapo. Hey, actually I'm maybe a few seconds late, but not much. I was here.
A few seconds.
Just a few. Just.
How's it coming in, Conky? Am I breaking up?
Yeah, your voice and your lips aren't matching each other. Oh, there's the chat. Ask the audience how you look. I look really clear on my end, but I'm right here, so I could look fuzzy to him too. I don't know.
You look pretty clear on my end, but
do you look fuzzy on your end?
Well, my camera's not. It'll probably be a little fuzzy, but
so you're not at your shop. You're at home now.
The question is, can you hear me and see me?
I can hear you and see
I
you.
was trying to do it at home.
Actually, I think the way this works is if you don't
appreciate everybody coming out.
If you sort of stay still, it'll come in a little better.
So you think I'm doing okay?
Yeah, if you move around a lot.
Coming in okay.
Okay.
I'll try not to even move. It shouldn't be too hard.
Just act like you're frozen. So
yeah, I got a camera coming and a microphone coming. I got a bunch of stuff coming in. Hold on, I got another banner here for you.
Yeah, you want to get yourself I've got one of these blue mics. I can put it in the camera there. Well, you can't really see it. If I try to turn around, it'll unplug, but it's a really good mic. You just want to make sure that you don't plug them, because most of that stuff's going to be USB. You're going to want to make sure you plug it into its own separate USB thing, and you should be good.
Yeah, like I said, I got a whole new Wi-Fi, everything getting hooked up. I just haven't got it hooked up today. But it's all here, brand new, state-of-the-art, high. I spent a lot of money to upgrade the whole online experience from my house.
Yeah,
I got a new router,
everything.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, you want to plug in whatever you're going.
The first time we're going to talk about this later, Conky.
Okay.
We're going to talk about this later.
Well, where is everybody?
They will be here shortly. From what I understand, Jeremy's trying to corral a mini fridge, and Guapo is chasing down a stainless steel double French door fridge.
I always thought that Jeremy was more of a freezer type of guy, but what do I know?
He is. It might be a freezer.
Might be, yeah.
They say Rob is lip syncing.
Yeah, you look like that.
I won't even know.
That guy in Police Academy that could talk and make the sound come out differently, mimicking a Japanese horror film.
What?
He's frozen. Rob's frozen in a nice, funny. So I guess if anybody can see and hear me, I guess
should just out and come back in.
You could try that.
Am I unfrozen now?
Well, I can hear you. Yeah, LRG says like a Jet B movie. What I don't understand is it was so clear when I was having it on my channel and you were just
I shop. I don't know if you're gone, Conky. If I'm gone,
I'm here. I can hear you.
All right. I had a crazy day, Conky.
What did you do today?
Crazy.
How crazy was it?
First, I went to the Medina storage unit auction. They had one unit.
I didn't. We're in Medina. Was that the one where?
The guy that does the Worcester ones.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about then.
One unit, and guess how many bidders showed up?
Hopefully, at least 3. One. Just you. How did that work? Don't they need more than one person to have an auction?
Good question, Conky. So at a storage facility, what happens if they don't have the auction? What happens to the merchandise?
I thought they had to have an auction.
Well, what happens after if they don't have the auction? I'm just saying if they didn't have enough people to show up, what happens to the merchandise?
I don't know, because normally there's enough people at the auction, and if there's no bid, then they get signatures from 3 people that were there saying that nobody wanted to bid on it, and then they could just dispose of it.
There was more. There was the auctioneer was there. He was a bidder.
Okay.
I was a bidder, and then there's 3 people that work for the facility there. Well, I don't know. 2 people work for his facility and some other guy. So, long story short, there's no people that registered.
Yeah,
but no, they weren't bidding.
Okay.
I bought it for $25.
Why so much?
He asked for 50. I said, I'll give you 25. Okay. I was going to go, 5, but I didn't want to be so greedy, Conky.
So what'd you get?
A 10 by 30.
Wow.
I know I saw some die-cast. I saw some Pokemon. I saw a 1940s pinball machine.
And you without a truck.
Well, that's the second part of my story, Conky.
Well, do tell.
Good way to lead into it, Conky. So I go to rent a truck. And my usual place doesn't have the truck I need, so I rent it from a different U-Haul location. I go to the U-Haul. They ask me for he's the manager there. He just kind of asking for a lot of information. I'm providing it. Then he says, I need a contact information. So I gave my business partner's phone number. He calls him, and my business partner doesn't answer. My business partner's on vacation. He goes, well, you can't rent a truck. I need someone else's that's going to answer the phone. I said,
amazing.
You won't rent me a truck? You won't rent me a truck because my person that you want an emergency contact didn't answer their phone. Well, that's our policy.
No, it's not.
He said, that's the Cleveland policy. I said, let me talk to your manager, your boss, or whatever else. No. And then he said, I was getting loud. I have it on video. I was not getting loud.
Wow.
Long story short, I had to call the guy that he used to be the regional vice president. Now he's higher up in the company. He called the store and said, rent the truck to Rob. Because the guy told me to get out of the store because I was being too loud. He's not going to rent me the truck.
So his boss's
Even though I provided him another phone number. Correct. And then he had nothing he could really say at that point. So the boss is boss. Long story short, I got the truck, Conky.
Well, that's good. I'd have loved to have seen his face
I do
when
have
his
a
boss
truck right now.
There you are.
He said to me, he goes, Rob, he's not happy. So I hate to go over anyone's head, but man, I had to do it.
Did I ever? I kind of had to do that once, but not really like that. Years ago, I had a job where I was a purchasing agent for a big company in Cleveland. And this was right around late 2001, 2002, when everything was slowed down. And we were the only customer that this one company in Detroit had that was keeping them going. And we were having them build some stuff for us. And the way they did it is they would build printed circuit boards. And their machines would place each one of the little components on a printed circuit board and solder it. They're really neat machines. And the company I was working for had to send up, I think it was, for some reason, the number 310 sticks in my mind. So it was like $310,000 worth of chips that were in a box that, like 12 by 12 by 12 box, had over $250,000 worth of parts in it. So they didn't want to ship it because they didn't want to insure it. They long story short, they asked me to run it up to Detroit for them. So I put the box in the trunk of my Cadillac STS, and I drive up to Detroit. And it's one of those big, long buildings where the offices in the front and the work areas in the back. And I walked in the front, and I'm dressed nice because I work in an office at the time. I'm driving a friggin' Cadillac. I walk in the front, and I said, I have a delivery for a build you have going today. We need these things. The receptionist doesn't even look at me. She looks up through the top of her glasses. All the truckers go to the back. All right. So I jumped back in my car, and I drove around to the back, and I walk in the back door and receiving, and I've got this box in my hand. I'm like, this is for a build you guys have going on. The guy says, set it on the counter. So I sort of walk, and I peek my head in to the area where all these machines are working. You can't look in there. Oh, are you kidding me? So I have him sign for the stuff. I get back in my car. I call my boss, Ken. I said, Kenny, I'm up here at, I forget the name of the board house. I said, I'm up here. I said, I don't think these guys know who I am. The receptionist thought I was a truck driver. And when I tried to peek into the place where they were building the stuff, the guy snipped at me. I said, could you straighten them out for me? He says, drive back up front and park and go in. Like, all right. So I had to drive. You have to drive around the other side of the building, go out to the street, go back to where you drove in, go in and park in like this area up front.
Thank you, Mary Franklin.
By the time I get up front, and it's maybe less than 60 seconds before I'm back in the front door. The receptionist looks up at me and says, hello, mister, let's go right this way. She leads me to an office with nothing. It had a desk. There was nothing on the desk except for a stack of chocolate chip cookies, a glass of milk, and a phone. Now, I was known in the office around that time of the day. I would go buy some chocolate chip cookies and drink some milk and dip my cookies in the milk and all that. There's a stack of chocolate chip cookies, a glass of milk, and a phone. I picked up the phone. I called my boss, Kenny. I said, I don't know what you said to him when I'm sitting here eating milk and cookies. He says, enjoy yourself. Hangs up. About the time I get done with my cookies, the VP of operations pokes his head in the door and says, hey, you done with your cookies? I want to give you a tour of the shop. They treated me like royalty after that, but for a while they thought I was just
sometimes yeah.
And
you're the guy that's helping that company stay afloat.
Well, we were the only ones that were sending the money because it was right after the 9/11 and all production shut down for everything. And we were the only ones with money because we were working for the Chinese government. We were building the
Oh my
IP Star satellite system.
Conky, you just said you were a spy. Did everyone hear that out there? Conky said he
Yeah.
worked for the Chinese government as a spy.
Oh, I hated those guys. Yeah, I could go on and on, but I'm not going to hijack your show about that. I'll just
Yeah, everybody.
I'll
I do have a lot of trouble renting trucks. Jeremy, I don't know. Hopefully he'll be on soon, and Guapo, but if not, I got more. So much. We had first talk about our first time, Conky, and it's not what you think.
Okay. Well, there was a text from Jeremy. Did you see the text from Jeremy?
I haven't seen it.
He said
Did he say he almost caught his freezer?
Yeah, I think what happened was he finally caught up to the freezer, opened it up, and it swallowed him.
Oh my gosh! Well, hopefully Guapo can get them released. Maybe Guapo can come over to release them, and they will be on tonight.
It's one of those. It's one of those freezers with the latches that you can't get open from the inside.
Don't say that.
Oh,
Jeremy needs oxygen. Jeremy needs oxygen.
Yeah. You hear this pounding? Let me out.
It would make a good video, but he would tell you that part. I hope he has his camera while he's in the freezer.
Yeah. That would be Jeremy's hell. He gets trapped in a freezer, but he doesn't have his camera.
I can make a whole video.
I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
That would be horrible.
Jared, if you're watching, I love you, brother. We got to make fun of you if you're not here.
He'd be like, oh, man. No, that would be horrible, man. He couldn't make a video. That's the whole point. So then after this whole truck scenario, I didn't get the truck to clean out the unit, Conky.
So what did you rent the truck for?
I had a lady, her brother passed away. I did a part of the video yesterday. They had her house. Her brother, single guy, 80-some years old. Interesting stuff. He was into making jewelry. Okay. He was into firearms a little bit. He was into high-end audio equipment. You know, like
Marantz,
$400 or $500 receivers, $300-$400 amplifiers.
Yeah, Harman Kardon and Marantz and the really high-end stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Tools. Tons of like brand new or barely used tools. A lot of them, unfortunately, were Harbor Freight, but.
So high-end audio, but low-end tools.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And man,
and he passed away.
So much. Yeah, he passed away, unfortunately. And no family except for his sister.
Huh.
He had no kids, never married, and he enjoyed his life. He skied all over the world. There's pictures of him skiing. He also was in photography. Tons of camera equipment. I mean, lenses and old stuff and new stuff.
Yeah, I know some of those lenses can be really, really expensive.
I know he has one camera in there that's probably about a $500 camera. Another camera, maybe a $1,000 camera.
Wow.
And some of his some good lenses.
So are you liquidating for her?
Yes. I went there today and loaded up everything that was worth me selling.
Okay. Did that include the Harbor Freight tools or no?
I grabbed all those. There's tons of new bits and saw blades. I mean, they weren't all. There was some DeWalt and some other stuff mixed in there, Conky. It wasn't all, They had high-end audio equipment, high-end photography equipment, high-end jewelry making equipment, like little welders, solderers, or, I don't know.
Huh. That'll be something to keep an eye on.
It was.
I could use some of that for some things I've got going on around here. Plus, did you happen to bring my fire truck home?
It's at my building.
Uh,
Why, are you coming over today?
yeah, I got to figure out how to get that from you. Jeremy wants to know if you bought a Pontiac.
Did I buy a Pontiac?
Jeremy said, Rob, did you buy that Pontiac?
My minivan?
No,
I got a Pontiac minivan. Or the one at the house? No, the one at the house. Oh, Shane. Okay, let me tell you about. Here's another story. So I go to the lady's house today, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I sold the car." And I said, "You sold the car? I told you I could sell it to get more money." Oh, she sold it for $450, but there's not a deal done yet. Shane's mom needs a car, so I'm trying to get the car for her. I said, listen, if the kid doesn't come through with the money or not, Shane will give you $600 right now for the car.
What kind of car was it?
Yeah, I know. I'm out of focus, this camera. It's a 2000 or something, like Pontiac Grand Prix or Grand Am or something. I don't remember.
Okay, yeah. So,
but I mean, 81,000 miles, Conky.
That's actually pretty
Runs,
good for. Yeah. Yeah.
Drives. Yeah, it was an old man's car. He took care of it. Always changed the oil. Got the brakes done. Has good tight. You know what I'm saying? The car is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. We when I worked for.
So hopefully we get the car for Shane's mom.
Yeah, it sounds like it'd be a good car for her.
She just needs something inexpensive. She's starting, getting back up, and she had some issues and, coming back up, and needs a good piece of transportation.
So what's this first time thing we're going to talk about?
All right, Conky. We got a couple first times. Are you ready?
No. Go ahead. Do you remember your
first time? The first time we're going to talk about, Conky. The first time that you remember in your life ever going to an auction.
Okay.
The first auction that you ever went to in your entire life.
There's actually a funny story about that. I'm going to adjust my camera and hopefully not screw things up.
Francis, hello. Good evening. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
My first auction.
Your first auction ever, Conky. You could have been a little kid. Who knows?
I was a little kid. You want to know what happened?
I want to hear the story. They want to hear the story. They want to hear about your first time. And you guys out there, you could tell us about your first time. If you guys ever been to an auction, your first time. If you've never been to an auction, put it in the chat. You never been to an auction. If you have been to an auction, put in there your first time you went to an auction. How old were you the first time you ever went to an auction? Go ahead, Conky.
The first time I went to an auction was in 1983. Right around, it was about 1983.
Oh, and someone asked this, Conky. Sorry. Conky's not my dad.
I'm 10 years older than you are. How can I be?
Someone put that in the chat. I'm just telling you. Conky's not my dad, ladies and gentlemen. It was up higher. It was up earlier. They put it. I'm not lying, but no, he's not my dad. We've just been friends. That's something we'll talk about a little bit here, but go ahead. First time auction, you're a little kid. Let me hear what happened.
My dad needed a car. So we went to a car auction. It was actually a repo auction, I think. And they were running cars through for a bank that had repossessed these things. And most of these things were only going for between $500 and $5,000. Okay. So this van goes through, and I forget what the bid was, but I kept scratching scratching my ear. Oh, scratching my nose. And the auctioneer kept taking it as a bid. I was a 13-year-old kid. I don't know whether I looked like I was older or not, but I kept bidding on this van apparently. And the guy that bought the van,
probably had a beard, Conky.
Probably, yeah. I probably looked like this. The guy that bought the van noticed me bidding on it and noticed, my dad was standing next to me. And I don't know. I guess we would have taken the van if we'd have got stuck with it, because it wasn't a bad van. It was like a Chevy, conversion van. But then this, it was a 1980 Caprice wagon came through, and my dad started bidding on it at $4,000, and he won he started bidding on it at $2,000, and he won the bid at $4,000. And the guy that was bidding against him was the guy that I was bidding against for the van. And my dad pointed out that he thought that was the reason why he was bidding against him, was he was running him up because we ran him up. So this whole running up thing is something that goes all the way back to my very first auction.
You ran some guy up and you were 13 or whatever. You didn't even know you were running him up.
I was scratching my nose. But that is the very first auction I ever went to.
Mary Franklin, thank you. Never been to an auction. Wondering what was your favorite item purchased in an auction? Ooh, that's a good question.
No.
We'll have to talk about that, Mary Franklin.
Okay, you know what? A quick answer to that is most of what I have today was purchased in an auction, so it's really hard to.
So to summarize, die-cast vehicles that have 4 tires is what Conky bought at auction, and his favorite thing to buy at auction is a die-cast car.
Pretty much, or real
or some
car.
kind of vehicle.
Yeah, some kind of vehicle.
Yeah, it could be a die-cast plane, maybe. I mean, or a tank or something. You might buy one of those.
Yeah, some sort of toy or real,
maybe tin
mode of movement for imaginary or real people.
Thank you, Linda Jose. Super sticker. I like that mountain climber. That's like us, man. We're always climbing mountains, huh, Conky?
Or trying to anyway. So, Mr. Auctioneer Extraordinaire, describe your first auction.
Okay, I've seen a lot of people out there. They're putting in the comments. I seen Susan said she went to an auction when she was 7 in Seville when she was young. And I want to explain this to people. A lot of people go to auctions as a form of entertainment. And there's a lot of places out there in small towns where the auction on a Friday night, Thursday night, Tuesday, that's the thing to do. And Amish country, they'll pull up their buggies. Everyone goes to the auction. Some there to buy, some are there just to see the stuff that's there, see what these people are willing to bid on stuff, talk, blah, blah, socialize. It's a social event, an auction. For us storage buyers, it's no different. We get together, we talk about our finds, our losses, troubles, and tribulations, and all that fun. But where I came from in Brook Park, right by the airport, right by Cleveland downtown, there is not very many auctions that would happen. I didn't even really knew auctions existed. And then I knew about car auctions, and I went to my first auction ever was a car auction. And I believe over there in Akron, what's that one called?
It was just Akron Auto Auction, isn't it?
Well, there's another auction, big auction. I don't know if it's in Akron, but down that area. Man, why can't I think of the name of it?
Akron Auto Auction, I can't think of the name of the one up on Route 8.
So it's been there for years. It's still there today. I see this vehicle. I buy the vehicle. They're like, well, we got to get the title for the vehicle. I said, okay. Weeks go by. I call. Well, we're still working on title. Month goes by. I call. Still working on title. 2 months go by. I call. 3 months go by. And I was like, I'm just going to wait it out. 4 or 5 months go by. No title. And I think what they did is they probably sold the vehicle to a dealer because it was a good vehicle. So I never got that car, and they just gave me my money back. But after like 5-6 months, I waited, and then I got my money back. That was my first auction and my first auction experience.
So you never took possession of the car?
Never, because I never had the title. And then that's the thing is they probably had the title, Conky. I was a young kid.
Yeah, you should have taken possession of the car and said, look, I've got the car. Your title's not going to do you any good now. But yeah, you were a young kid.
That was my first time at an auction, first experience out there.
Well,
People out
since you're
there,
an auctioneer, what happens? What's the legal ramifications for selling something at auction and then just not letting the person take it, taking their money but not giving them there's got to be something that you could have done.
Yeah. I mean, I could have filed a complaint with the Ohio Department of Agriculture. And then they would maybe investigate it or whatever. I'm not sure. But there's not much. The thing about auction, it's going to be a civil matter.
Yeah.
So in the end of the day, it's going to be, I mean, I'm licensed and bonded. That's why I deal with someone that's licensed and bonded, because I could lose my license and if I lose my license, then I can't, well, I guess you can conduct online auctions. Everyone can do those. So, but yeah, that was my first auction experience. It was not great, Conky.
Now, my first Subaru that I bought off of it's called Sarah now, but it was a Park Honda. And this was several years ago. This was probably a good 12 years ago. I won this thing on eBay for $610. And I couldn't believe I won it. It should have sold for $2,000. Okay.
Holy smokes.
I go to pick it up. And I stop by the dealership in the morning. And I fill out all the paperwork. And I forget whether I gave them the money right then or not. But I said, I got to go to work. I'll be back in about 2 hours to collect the car. So I take off. I come back a couple hours later. I'm all dressed up and everything, And they said, there's something wrong. We can't let you have the car. Like, what do you mean you can't let me have the car? So it's dangerous. You can't drive it. It's unsafe. Like, what the hell are you talking about? I came by and looked at this car. I didn't see anything unsafe about it. I previewed it before I bid it. He says, yeah, the mechanic over at the dealership said the frame was bad. It's going to snap in half. I said, okay. I said, let's go look at the car. So I'm crawling around underneath this car. I'm dressed up in, khaki pants and, dress shirt and all that. I'm crawling around. I'm looking at this car for like 10, 15 minutes. And I said, who told you that this thing's unsafe to drive? Well, the mechanic said it was unsafe. I said, you go get the mechanic right now. Bring him here. I want him to put his finger on the spot of this car that's bad, that makes it unsafe to drive. Okay, so he walks off, comes back about 10 minutes later. Oh, his kid was sick. He had to go home. I looked at salesman square in the eye. I said, I'm calling bullshit on your story. I said, you put this car in my name right now. If I see anything on the title about it being unsafe, I'm suing you. Okay. I still have that car. I still own that car. Okay. That thing ran perfectly. They were just trying to scam me out of my car because it sold too cheap.
You still have the car?
I still have that as my first Subaru. I'll never get rid of it. I still have it.
Oh yeah. I can't believe. I can't believe you still have the car.
Yep. It's a 1998 Subaru
That's
Legacy
hilarious.
Brighton edition.
Yeah, the first time at an auction, definitely one of those things. If you've never been to an auction, it's always a good time. They own the Hartville auction. Wow.
Owned the Hartville auction. Unfortunately, passed away before I was going auction.
And they turned it over into the Hartville Flea Market Restaurant. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, Miller. Yep. They had an auction. They had 3 auctions. One was a toy and baseball card auction. I spent, I think, $6,500 that day. And then they had a salt and pepper shaker auction. And then they had another auction. I forget what was in that. But there were 3 separate auctions when one of the guys that had that passed away and they were selling his collections. That was a lot of stuff. But I guess he used to go to his own flea market and buy, things that people were selling.
Wow. So, I forgot to tell you, I also have 2 other storage units I have to already clean out that I haven't cleaned out yet. Did I tell you that?
No, you're gonna. Do you still have the truck?
The truck, we loaded it today and emptied it, and it's sitting there empty. 26-foot box truck.
So are you going to go back and use that same truck to clean out the units, or you have to take it back and?
No, I got this truck.
I mean, I don't know whether it's going to turn into a pumpkin or something at midnight because of the guy being.
I rented it for 2 days, so I got it until like Saturday afternoon.
No turning into a pumpkin, huh? Good.
So I'm my plan. It's never going to work, but I got to at least get the 2 units, and then I got the 3rd unit in Medina, and I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I have to figure that out.
You might have to rent that.
I have until Tuesday, so I'll probably pick that up Monday or Tuesday. They'll give me longer if I need it, but
a 10 by 30.
It's not packed though.
It's okay. Yeah, I guess you could probably get that in a.
You could walk through the middle of the unit, Conky, from
Okay.
one side to the other. There is some shelving, but they said I don't have to take the shelving, like built-up shelving, out of 2x4s.
You said you don't. Could you take it if you wanted it?
If you want to come get some 2x4s, you're more than welcome, man.
Like full-length 2x4s? When are you going to be there?
I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, I might come get those.
There's a bunch of 2x4s in there, Conky. I'll hook you up. Free $99, Conky.
$3.99. I just have to figure out what I'm going to haul them in. My dump truck does not have a windshield currently.
Well, that's great. Then you can just put it right through the front of the dump truck.
Yeah.
You put those goggles on, Conky, you just cruise. Yeah. You don't need a windshield. If you're on a motorcycle, you don't need a windshield.
It's not illegal, is it?
I don't think so.
I mean,
the motorcycle, they don't have a windshield sometimes.
If you've got a windshield and it's broken and cracked, they can pull you over. But if you don't have a windshield, you should be all right.
Yeah, because they'll think their glass is just that clean.
You have bugs in my teeth and everything. You know, I should do
I hope you don't hit a bird, Conky. That might make you pass out.
A bird or a really, really big bug.
Oh, man. I don't know. Guapo was supposed to be joining us. Jeremy said he's trying.
He sent a text.
That wedding reception, oh, my.
I don't know if Guapo is going to get on or not. He's not feeling too good right now. I have a feeling Guapo had a pretty hard day.
Going on tonight. I got to show you this, though.
Full screen yourself, Rob. Full screen yourself. Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I got to use the other hand for that.
Well, here, let me do it on mine.
Guapo tonic.
I'll do it on mine because it'll look clearer on mine. There. See if I can get it that. Come on. It's just
wrong one. Nope. I'm trying to full screen you, Conky. I don't know how to full screen. There you go.
I can't get it to.
No.
You know, I might be able to do. Hang on. Let's do.
You thought you were going to get it.
If I can share screen, that one.
We got our next first to talk about too, Conky.
Can you let that in? There you go.
Dun, dun, dun. El Guapo British colonial style tonic syrup. This was at the house I was cleaning out today. And I was like, man, I got to take a picture and send it to my legend buddy and the rest of the AA crew. So I had to send it out there. And there's so much stuff behind the scenes, guys, that you guys never see. There's so much stuff that happens, and it's always crazy. And all this stuff, there's always things that happen that we never get on film because we should be recording 24 hours a day, but we always
I always think of it after. You know what I mean? Never
there's
think
just
of
so
it on
many
time.
times.
I had some really weird stuff happen a couple weeks ago where if I'd have just had a dash cam, it would have been entertaining to, share with everybody.
Yeah, I have one that I have one I got to hook up to my my new car.
I'm wired for it. It's just I can't get the thing to stick, so I got to clean the little suction cup off. But I was behind this guy on the freeway. It's been a couple weeks now, and he had two kayaks on the roof of his car. They both just flew up in the air and flew off. Just crazy stuff like that. You see that, if you have a dash cam, you can actually save it and share it.
All right, Conky, you got another first time question for you.
What is the first time question?
And everybody out there in the chat, let's get us anyone that else. Please let us know when I ask the question to Conky. The first scary movie that you ever watched, Conky?
The first scary movie.
Actually, that you were scared. Not like, oh, it's supposed to be a scary movie. Actual movie, when you were a kid and you were actually afraid. It might not have been a scary movie, though. It could have just been a movie like you were afraid of Willy Wonka or something.
No, this was a scary movie. And about a year ago,
I see a lot of people saying Carrie and stuff. Go ahead.
About a year ago, I brought it up to the chat on my channel. It was a movie where all I remember is there was a bed and this big blade drops down from the ceiling and starts swinging at the guy's neck that was laying in the bed. And
Phantasm?
They told me the name of it. And I looked it up, and I looked up that scene, and it looked like it was probably it. But that was like in the early 70s. I saw that. It was on... it was just on TV. My sister was watching it on a black and white TV, and I happened to wander in the room, and that was it. Jane Lord, The Pit and the Pendulum. Yep. So
which one was it?
The Pit and the Pendulum.
The Pit and the Pendulum, huh?
I think that was the name of the movie that I was watching. From 1961. But I was watching it. It was on like 43. It was on a UHF channel. So I was watching it, probably 10 or 12 years later.
Rosemary's Baby. They said this one, it's a newer movie, but it was a freaky one. Blair Witch. Did you ever see that one, Conky?
You saw my my video from camp when the first time I went to Camp Hales. That's what that was trying, even though I've never really seen the movie, that's kind of what I was trying to do with that, putting the times up.
Yeah, my first time watching a scary movie and being scared from a movie, because not much really. I was pretty young. I think it was the first Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. And my brother brought it home, and he's like, "Yeah, let's watch this movie." And I'm like, "Okay." And I was a little kid still, And I was kind of sheltered, I think, and that was my end of my shelter. I was like, that movie had a lot of. You ever see the original Nightmare on Elm Street, Conky?
I think I have, but first of all, I don't really watch that many scary movies because if I watch a movie or if I watch TV in general, I'm more into the...
She might be right. This might have been my first one.
Night of the Living Dead.
You had seen the Night of the Living Dead.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, you better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, don't stay up late. 9, 10, you never sleep again. But the one part of the movie, Conky, Johnny Depp actually is the character, and he was young. Freddie pulls him into a bed, and then the whole bed just shoots out like a water fountain of blood. It was like a water bed, and the whole ceiling, the whole room was just. It was a crazy movie.
Jeez.
I love scary movies now. I mean, there's not much that scares me. So I can watch any kind of scary movie, but my wife and my kids, they're invisible, so they like to watch The Invisible Man's the only scary movie they like.
Yeah, I don't get into scary movies because they're just not entertaining.
They're okay.
For me.
We've contacted both of them, and they're both okay. They've been trying to make it. They have some stuff going on. And guys, you got to understand, there's so much stuff going on in all of our lives and everybody's life out there. So there's other things going on that, there's multiple businesses that we have going on. There's multiple, there's just a lot going on. So sometimes, one of us might not make it, or sometimes two of us might not make it to AA, but we always have people showing up, and we'll always be here for you guys. And like I said, I know Guapo, he's had some issues with his teeth and everything else, and we all been praying for him. And, Jeremy, we pray for all of us. So, but they're both doing okay. They're both okay. No one, there's nothing bad happening. So,
well, we're still.
You never know. They could pop in. Yeah, you never know. They might pop in any second. Like, right? Oh no.
Kristen Williams, you watch Big Chuck. It was Big Chuck and Houlihan, or Big Chuck and Little John. Oh, I'm
going to talk about that.
She put Hooligan, but it's Houlihan.
Yes.
I remember seeing a scary movie when I spent the night with my buddy up the street, Donnie Calvary's, on the Big Chuck and Houlihan show. And that was probably 1972 or 3.
A lot of people probably have no clue what you guys are talking about. So let me just bring everyone up to speed real quick. Big Chuck and Houlihan, Big Chuck and Gallardi, and then you have and then there was Gallardi, Houlihan, and then there was Little John.
Big Chuck and Little John.
But Big Chuck and Little John still go on TV today. They're Cleveland personalities, and what they did, they had a show they ran, usually B-type movies, horror movies, and things like that. You wouldn't consider A movies, but like B movies or old movies that are 20, 30-year-old horror movies. And they would do little skits between them, like comics skits, and they had some hilarious skits, and they are Cleveland celebrities.
Skits were better than the movie.
The skits, everyone, you want to wait for the movie to have the pause where they would come in and then do their little skits. And so you guys could YouTube them out there, Big Chuck and Little John, and they'll have all the old skits from Houlihan and Gallardi, but there are some funny skits. Ben Crazy.
A certain ethnic.
A certain ethnic fellow.
From Parma.
And here's an example. Like there'd be a sign that would say free, and then in front of it would be like a TV. And the guy would pull over to the side of the road, get out, grab the sign that said free, put it in his car, and leave. That's an example of one of Big Chuck and Little John kind of skit. It's kind of stupid.
And these guys, that wasn't their main gig. I mean, Little John was a jeweler. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he'll learn all the jewelry.
Yeah, he had a jewelry store downtown. I think they just did this for fun,
Well, here's the crazy part of the story, Conky. When I was a kid, directly across the street from me, Little John lived.
Huh.
He had 2 sons. His youngest son I used to hang out with and play with, and his name was Dino. And he had I had like a little tiny squirt gun, he had a backpack, battery powered, and this is like the early 80s. I never even seen it in a store before. And this thing must have cost like $100 back in like 81 or whatever it was, 82 or whatever. He had this battery powered backpack. This is before super soakers, all that kind of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. And I was just like, me and my sister and my brother, we just had these like little tiny junk squirt guns you buy at the store. They had the little plastic cap, you put the water in, plastic trigger, you squeezing it. That's what we had. He had this backpack, and it was just like just drenching us, And boom! You want to hear it crazy? So he moved out, and I was still young. I garbage picked his house. So I got all kind of stuff like pictures from like back in the day. I don't know what ever happened to this stuff, but I garbage picked all this stuff from his house. And it was like from the Big Chuck and Little John show, the Gallardi show. There's autograph, all kind of pictures, basketball teams, all kind of stuff. But he just pitched it all.
Well, it didn't mean anything to him. I mean,
Yeah.
Wow. And you don't know what happened to any of that stuff?
I know I have some of it somewhere. Where? I have no clue, Conky. But my that was like one of my first times garbage picking. Or maybe the first time. So speaking of which, our next question is going to be, have you ever garbage picked, ladies and gentlemen? And if you have, let us know if you have stopped and garbage picked. Or if you think it's a horrible thing, you could put in the comments that you think it's a horrible thing. And if you ever garbage picked, you could put in there the first time you garbage picked or what was the best thing you ever found in the garbage. Conky, go ahead.
I remember you garbage picking Hales.
We could talk about that.
That was the Youngstown unit, or was that Youngstown, or
I don't even remember where those were. The banana box units, I call them.
Yeah, the banana box units.
Jeremy and I, just to put the story in perspective real quick, everybody, we went to an auction, and this is when I first become friends with Jeremy and everything else. I kind of knew him through the auctions and everything else. And of course, the first time we met, we had butt heads a little bit, but long story short. So Jeremy buys the first unit for $25. I buy the second unit for $25. And they were packed full banana boxes. Jeremy, there was so much stuff. Jeremy got a dumpster delivered there. He's going through this huge 10 by 30 unit or whatever, full banana boxes, floor to ceiling, all the way back. So many that he couldn't even go through them all. He had to take them back to his warehouse, and they went through them for like another year. He filled that dumpster up. I'm in the dumpster, garbage picking stuff he threw out because I'm like, I can sell this. This is worth money. But anyways, Coggy, first time you ever garbage picked. Anyone else out there, let us know in the comments if you ever garbage picked, if you ever found anything, and let us know.
The first time I'm trying to think any time I've ever garbage picked.
Alyssa found Bakelite. Janet, you don't know until you do it.
Yeah.
A table. Awesome, Cindy. Obi-Wan says, hey, that's how he eats. So, hey, free food. Someone said it's illegal. Most places it's not exactly legal to garbage pick, but
I remember when I was a kid and we put my dad put a new faucet in the kitchen. And he put the old one in the garbage. And it was right on top of the garbage can, and the lid was on it. And I remember the garbage men coming around. They get out, and I'm standing for some reason, I'm at the end of the driveway. I might have been on my bike. I was getting ready to go bike riding or something. And the garbage men pull up, and they both get out, and there's two of them. One lifts up the lid of the can, grabs the old faucet. I remember he pulled the hose off of it because my dad must have cut the hose to get out. Pulled the hose off of it, for the little stretch out thing that you do the trigger, and threw it back in the garbage can. Looked at the other guy, says, "You want anything out of there?" The other guy shook his head. He put dumped the rest in the thing. But I can't think of any time I've ever garbage picked. I know I have, but I just can't think of anything specific.
Is it true in Cleveland you have to have a permit to pick up stuff put on the curb, Robin Conky? There's a truth kind of to that. There's a scrap permit or something they have. They started a few years back. And you're supposed to have this permit and you're allowed to go, I guess, technically garbage pick, but it's more for scrapping metal. You want to hear a couple of garbage picking stories, Conky, that'll blow your mind?
Sure.
See, gold rings. That's what just reminded me of this. My cousin is a semi-professional garbage picker. He's been garbage picking 35, 40 years. Going to the flea market every Saturday. Selling stuff. First, I'll tell you, he made his bread and butter garbage picking, lawnmowers, snow blowers, weed whackers, any kind of gas-operated outdoor contraption. Because most of the time, the gas goes bad. He goes to these rich neighborhoods. They go to start their lawnmower. It don't start. They throw it out, go to the store, go buy a new one. Sometimes the lawnmower's a year old, 2 years old. He cleans out the carburetor. Sometimes he just has to dump the gas, put fresh gas in. It starts right up.
Well,
he's made his bread and butter off of those. And vacuum cleaners, because a lot of people will throw out the vacuum cleaner because the hose breaks, because it won't suck up anymore. He takes apart the hose, it's clogged.
Yeah.
That's the only thing it is, it's clogged. He unclogs it, boom, the vacuum works good. Or the belt broke. They don't know how to replace a belt. And you got to remember, there's people out there that have lots of money. They're not going to replace a belt. They're not going to fix a lawnmower. They're not going to take it in. They don't care. They'll just throw it out. But during this 30-some years of garbage picking, I'll tell you two stories from my cousin. One, he's driving down the road, sees a slot machine. Pulls over to garbage pick it. He can't lift it. It's so heavy. So heavy, can't lift it. Reaches inside of it. It's filled with quarters.
Just sitting on the side of the road?
He starts filling his pockets. Not just a little bit of quarters, hundreds, maybe even $1,000 in quarters, Conky, was in the slot machine. He's filling his pockets with quarters. A car comes down and says, "Get out of here, you garbage picker, blah, 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 blah." The guy leaves, then comes back, starts harassing my cousin. My cousin ends up leaving. He had over $200 in quarters in his pockets. And everywhere else he could put quarters. The whole machine that was that heavy, they just threw it out with quarters. He couldn't get it all, though, because these people came and harassed him, said they're going to call the cops. But that's not the best story.
No, the answer to that is I had this thing strapped to the roof of my car and it fell off. Can you help me?
That would have been funny. Now, you guys, I'm just telling you, this is actual factual. I'm not making any of this up. He goes and garbage picks this house. The gentleman passed away. They threw out all the stuff. This story is going to blow your mind, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just telling you right now. The guy worked for like a company like Johnston's, that makes class rings.
Okay.
People out there, they'll know Johnston. I think it's Johnston or something like that. It's like one of the biggest class ring makers. They make all kind of stuff. But it was a company like that. I'm not sure if that's that company. He had salesman samples. Okay, they threw out the whole salesman samples. They're all 10-karat gold rings, Conky. They threw out this was a medal it was a gold medal made for the Olympics. Okay, Conky? A gold medal made for the Olympics. This was it said sample on it. This is what they gave to the Olympic Committee to get approval if this is the design they want to do for the Atlanta Olympics in 88. I think it was 88 for Atlanta Olympics. Whatever. When Atlanta 92, 96, I think. Whatever. But it was I don't want people to be out there. Rob Jolson. See right here, Susan, right here. And Bonnie, yep. So He garbage picks this. He scraps out the rings over $5,000 in scrap gold.
Wow.
He gives me the gold medal. I sold the gold medal for over $1,000, Conky. Now, gold medal, ladies and gentlemen, is just, it's coated with gold and it's sterling silver underneath it. It's how the Olympic gold medals are made. But I actually had this Olympic gold medal. I'm just like, who would throw out a gold medal? Why would you throw out an Olympic gold medal? People work their entire lives to try to get one of these, and you have one in your hand, and you're just going to throw it in the garbage? Really?
You want to know why? I guarantee you it was either the family that didn't know, or it was a real estate investor that bought the house and thinks he's a big shot. Oh, I bought a house. I'm an investor now. I can be a landlord, and just throws everything out, not realizing, he probably bought a trash house with.
So, guys, if you haven't given us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs up just for that story. Right, Conky?
I've got a buddy that's a scrapper, and he brings me, he's brought me a couple slot car sets and some different things. And he brought me an old Aurora Thunderjet 4-lane slot car set that somebody chucked in the trash. And he got 2 of the cars. I think 2 of the cars are, he couldn't get out. But he got the whole set and brought it to me. I think I gave him like $80 or $100 for it. But that's the one that he had a bunch of pictures, a bunch of aerial pictures from the 40s. This guy was a pilot and a photographer. So he'd fly around Summit County and take pictures of the air dock when they were building it, and just downtown when they were building downtown. And he took it to the Summit County Historical Society, and he said, what are these pictures worth anything to you? And the guy says, boy, these are great pictures. I'd love to have them, but I can't give you any money for them. Would you donate them to me? And my buddy says, no, you give me $20 for them, or, I'll take them home and burn them. The guy says, well, I'm not allowed to pay you for them, but if you donate them to me, I'd be grateful, and I'll give you a tax write-off thing for. So my buddy got all pissed off, and he brought them home, and he put them in a big pile, and he set fire to them, and took a video of them burning and sent it to the guy that ran the Historical Society, and said, there's your donation.
That is funny.
But that's the same guy that brings me, I've got a lot of stuff I use around here that I just get from him. Just people scrap it, and he has a list of people that he knows that is into different things, and he calls them when he gets it.
All right. We got last first question. It's already getting so late. I can't believe it's been going so fast. I appreciate everyone joining us. We got so much more to do. So many great videos, and but we're going to have one more first question I want to ask you through this, but I just want to once again thank you. And like I said, I got awesome video, and I just had a video where I cleaned out a house, Conky. The people called me over there. They actually watched YouTube. The lady found me, and she already had the junk people coming and saw my YouTube videos, called me and said, hey, I'm going to have all this stuff thrown out, but I saw this stuff's worth money. And your channel, can you come out and look at it? And I loaded up a whole truck full of stuff. Conky, she had Kennedy toolboxes she was going to throw out. She had, oh my gosh, high-end camera equipment. She was going to have them throw it out.
Huh.
I mean, if you would have seen this stuff, Conky, once again, a lot of people don't know that. I mean, but the last first, Conky, when's the first time? Are you ready?
Yep.
Do you remember the first time you met Auctioneer Extraordinaire?
It was such an
you guys out there, I want to put you guys in the comments. I want to know, when was the first time you saw my video or Conky's video? When was the first time you ever found us? Okay, put in the comments. When was the first time? How long ago was the first time you watched a Conky? Or did you watch a Conky video first, or a Rob video first, or a Guapo video? I know Jeremy, obviously most of you guys watched Jeremy first, so let's take him out of the equation. But the other three of us.
The first time I met you was before I knew you were doing YouTube.
I don't think I was doing YouTube yet.
Actually, you remember the first time I met you? It was at the auction that you went to today at the Medina one. And I bought my first unit that day. And you bought one too. And I think you paid like $50 or $55 for yours. And I was trying to remember what was in it. But that was where I bought my first storage unit. So I met you the day I bought my first storage unit.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to think when I first met you. I remember the first time I met Jeremy. Pretty much, I mean, actually met him. I think I'd seen him at a few auctions. Guapo. I mean, I wish Guapo was here. I just remember he showed up at the auctions, and he just started buying all these units, and we're like, "Who the heck's this guy?" You know. And I was calling him a one and done, but he proved me wrong. That's for sure. But man, he was just like shows up, and these sometimes at auctions. I've been around the storage unit business for over 13 years now, and there would always be people that show up sometimes, and they'll just buy a bunch of units because they get excited first time out or whatever. They, and then you never see them again. Guapo came out, he bought all these units, and I'm like, man, why is he buying these units? But he proved me wrong, and man, Guapo's a great buyer, that's for sure. But I didn't at the time. I was just I thought he just started too, so I thought he was going to be this guy ain't going to last in business long. But I didn't know Guapo's background at the time. But I seen a lot of people like Guapo, but Guapo's a reseller, and that's the difference between a lot of these other people. They just saw TV and wanted to be. But Guapo resold his whole life. So when you're a reseller, it's a lot easier buying a storage unit if you know how to resell. If you never resold things in your life, and a lot of people are like, well, it's easy to resell. It's not as easy as you think. Once you try actually selling things, because you can say all day long, oh, I got this cell phone right here. It's the top of the line cell phone. It's worth $1,000, brand new. I only used it for 2 months. I'm going to sell it right now for $500. That's great, but you got to find someone that's going to buy it.
Rob, I sold something on eBay this week. I got my full price of $90 out of it, but it's something that I listed like 3 years ago. I didn't know it was ever going to sell, and it finally sold. So, yeah, it takes a long time to sell some stuff. Some stuff sells almost immediately, and some stuff you sit on for years.
And that's
thanks for watching, Teresa.
That's definitely how it goes. My invisible wife.
There's Tricky Chi.
I found Jeremy, then Second Sense, met Conky through Jeremy. Auctions, Cleveland. And I mean, Conky, I got some unbelievable auctions coming up.
Yeah, I can imagine.
On the skydiving diaper video. That was a good one. Conky found out you through Conky. Nice. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy. I mean, this week, I just talked about today, ladies and gentlemen, from buying a storage unit, being the only person there, having the issues with the truck, going and loading up an entire estate, coming back, unloading the whole thing, coming to AA today. I mean, it's been a crazy day, and it's just one day in our life. And, I mean, my life's a little bit different than a lot of people out there. I mean, I work for myself. Every day is different. I go travel all around, and I see all kind of stuff. And but I love what I do, and that's the greatest thing. I love sharing it. That's why I make the videos. If I didn't love, I mean, because the Conky will tell you, making videos is a job.
Yeah,
it's another job. And I have I do 4 videos a week, and I'm doing this live on Thursdays now, but I do 4 videos a week, guys. So those days you can always count on me doing a video Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday are my 4 days. So those are the 4 days I put out videos, and I've been consistent with that for the last year or so. And it's one of those things. I do it because I want to share with you guys all this awesome stuff that I get to see and find. And sometimes people are like, oh, I can't believe that, or oh, this is fake, or this and that. And it's we don't fake any of it. It's all real, all 100%. I'm so busy. I don't have time. The only thing I do is, and I tell people all the time, the stuff you see, you can buy the stuff on my channel. I mean, I do auctions. I have online auctions every Saturday. So unbelievable stuff. Conky will tell you he just bought us. Tell him about what you just bought at the auction, Conky.
Which one?
The one that my auction I just had.
Oh, your auction. I bought a bus.
Thank you, Lord James. We appreciate you. A double-decker bus.
I thought it was a fire truck. It's a Triang double-decker bus, and I got it for $40. If I resell
it's a 10 litho, right? Friction toy.
Yeah. About 7 8 inches long. Probably from the 60s, maybe. So, and I'm into the 10 litho toys. I got one I'm restoring right now for the channel, doing a video on it. A bunch more to.
What's up, Willis?
There's Travis. Hey, what you doing, Willis? But yeah, I got that Saturday, I think.
The Indians. Remember that Indians game we went to? Oh, that was good.
I remember being on the Jumbotron and not being able to get the video of us on the Jumbotron. That sucked.
That was once again, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about this on YouTube. We were all on the Jumbotron. 4 YouTubers, all on the Jumbotron at the Indians game, the last Indians games of that year, and that will ever be, and none of us got the video of us on the Jumbotron.
Yeah. And we thought for sure it was just a matter of calling the Indians or the Jumbotron people or something like that and say, yeah, we want the video of this video right here. And they couldn't.
I sold all the paperweights, but I got some more coming.
I think we all have paperweights somewhere. You're asking if I fell asleep for some reason. No, I'm awake.
I got a house I'm finishing up, Conky, in a gated community in Solon. So I got this high-end furniture art auction coming up. But I got, oh my gosh.
Rob,
next week's auction, silver coins, all kind of collectibles, a Shakespeare clock from 1883.
Wow.
Can you hear me, Conky?
Does it work?
It seems like it is working.
A clock that old still working. That's something.
And it has both keys with it. And the research I've done, it's probably between $500, maybe $1,000 clock.
Wow.
Someone asked about George. I don't know. I haven't talked to George since Camp Hales 2.0.
He made it back.
We had so much fun together. We went. Oh yeah. Yeah, but man. So yeah, it was a crazy week. But I got three storage units I haven't gone through. So I know I'll have at least 3 videos coming out. So that might be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It just depends on if I can get them filmed and all. And yes, Sean, Conky passed out the Indians game. He passed out everywhere.
He did not pass out.
This ain't even Conky. This is a pre-recorded. Everything with tonight with Conky was pre-recorded. He was passed. So show some love, Conky's channel. You got an auction Saturday, right, Conks?
Yes, I do.
What do you got selling this Saturday?
William wants to know, could you auction things we bring to you? Yeah, that's what he does.
So, real quick, in the past couple months, I've had at least 3 or 4 people contact me that watched my YouTube, and I sold things for them. I'm a licensed and bonded auctioneer with the state. And thank you, Super Sticker. and I can sell anything and anything. I catalog it, photo it. I just sold a car for Conky.
Yeah, we sold my Lincoln. I had a Lincoln Mark 8 LSC, which has the fast Cobra motor in it. And I would have been happy with this amount, and he got me about this amount. So it actually went for a little bit more than what I thought it was going to go for.
And a lot of times that happens in my auctions. I got a lot of people, but Sheila, we mail. We usually use UPS or United States Postal Service, whatever's cheapest. We track and pack. We're professional. We have a whole shipping center. We've been shipping things. I mean, we ship out every auction all throughout the whole country. Everyone comments on how great our shipping is, how professional, how well packed our things are. So we just charge you. We're very, very reasonable. And I think he charges minimum $5 handling fee, but everything will be packed perfectly. If it takes longer to pack stuff, it might charge a little bit more, but a lot of people charge way more than that. And we use the best shipping possible. Like I said, and we never have any issues. So,
well, let me throw something in here. The shipping area that Rob has in his warehouse is the size of some people's houses. It's just shelves of boxes, packing peanuts, bubble wrap. I mean, it's a whole outfit. It's a serious shipping.
Yeah, we have from the wall hanging. There's different size. My auctions start at 1:00 on Saturdays. Online bidding. This Saturday we do not have an auction, but we have auctions up every Saturday from here on for a while. We just took my business partner wanted to take a vacation, so we gave him said we're not going to do an auction this week. But like next week, and like I said, silver coins. Yeah, they're on high bid. Thank you, Bonnie.
Yeah, the other auction.
But you just go to secondcents.com. You can register through the auction there. You don't have to go to high bid. You go right to my website, secondcents.com. Just use that name right there, Second Cents, and just put .com, www. Boom. You'll go right to my website. You can look at our auctions. There's 4 auctions up right now. And out of those 4 auctions, the ones that are different is another company that uses our site. But yeah, I mean, we ship everywhere in the world. And like I said, Conky will tell you, like you just said, we have a whole shipping area. We have one of those things that hang from the ceiling that drops the peanuts. But I guess it's time to about wrap up this show, Conky.
Yeah, about 20 after 10. So,
but I want to just say thank you once again, everybody that tuned in tonight, watching us. Check out all of our videos coming out. I mean, check out our auctions. We really, really, really appreciate it. We do this for you guys, and thanks for joining us tonight. Jeremy will be here next week. Guapo will be here next week. He should be. I don't see why I wouldn't be. And like I said, sometimes we have crazy things that come up in our lives, just like everyone else out there. But, man, thanks for joining us. We had some great, great stories tonight. And I guess we'll say a little prayer, Conks.
Okay. You doing it?
Well, you say it tonight, Conk, if you want.
Okay. Well, tonight we pray for, the 2 that couldn't be here, that hopefully they're well and nothing wrong. And we pray for everybody who's sick in the chat, that we hope that they feel better soon. Amen.
Amen. Thank you all once again for joining us. And you never know what we're going to see. Never know what we're going to find. Don't forget, check out www.secondcents.com.
See you.